Clients I've worked with have often been on a long journey to identify the root cause of their symptoms and food sensitivities. And this usually leads to a frustrating struggle with the health system, various tests, medications, and treatments. You may have been given diagnoses that seem to explain your symptoms, but don't help you feel better in the long term. And typically, people have also had demeaning interactions with health professionals. If this sounds familiar and you're feeling exhausted by your search for a medical explanation and treatment, try stepping back from your struggle and approach your symptoms from a mind-body perspective. And as soon as I say this, people think I'm implying their symptoms are psychological or they're exaggerating their suffering. But if we look at food sensitivities from a biopsychosocial lens, symptoms are not mind or body. They are an interaction between the two. We can't separate mind and body, but if we could, the contribution of each to symptoms might look something like this. So we have symptom severity here from 0 to 10. And typically we focus on biological mechanisms. So in other words, fixing our bodies or manipulating our environment, such as restricting food. Fortunately, there is another untapped avenue for healing. Minimizing condition mechanisms can make your symptoms more manageable. So a 4 is a lot easier to live with than an 8. And as I mentioned in the last video, if you take a future path to explore treatments for biological mechanisms, that journey will be much easier and more productive if you've learned new tools to manage your symptoms. If you've been struggling to find a medical explanation for your food sensitivities and symptoms, you may want to take a break and explore healing from a mind-body perspective.